In this lesson, we're going to talk about the Facebook like button and what it's used for. So kind of similar to what we were looking at with the follow button, the like button is simply a button that allows you to like or share the content of the page. Also gives you the ability to highlight other users who have liked the page, display a count, and you've got a few options here as well to do recommended, but now more people are more familiar with the term like. So again, you've got that ability to show the box count, the count as well, or just keep it as a button. And here we've got the ability to keep the show faces, hide faces, same thing here, include share button, or just keep the like button. So generally, if you are adding the like button within the social plugin, it is a good idea to keep that share button in there as well. Again, the like button works the same way as the follow, so you don't actually have to leave the page in order to like it. So you can simply just do a like. You could like and unlike it just by clicking. And then here it's giving you that ability to share the content as well. Again, once you've customized the URL, so this would be the URL of your website. Here you would just pick out what type of layout you want, the width. Generally, I don't show the friends' faces, so this would show if you're logged into Facebook, any of your friends that have liked this as well. And as I said, I'm just going to keep that share button in there for now. So here's just an example of the code, and here's those open graph meta properties that we had looked at earlier. This is going to be loading the Facebook SDK, and then this is just placing the like button within that div. So the same way that we did the follow button. And all we have to do is hit get code. So we don't have to copy this over again because we've already placed that on our site. So going back to the page, and we can see that we've got that widget, that SDK down there. And this is going to come in useful in addition to other Facebook integrations that we're going to be doing. So Facebook, yeah, you do have to keep that JavaScript SDK if you want to get any of the functionality that Facebook does provide. So right here, I'm just going to place the button, the like button, right next to it. I'm going to go back out to the page and reload it. And now I should have all three buttons here. And so we've got follow, like, and share. And again, like just simply allows us to like the page. So I believe we probably got an error there because we don't have a properly formatted URL. And actually, I believe the error when I'm looking at the message down there that it's blocked by the security systems. So what this is, this would go away if you do have a proper URL. And then the share, we're just going to quickly look at the share and see what that's doing. And we've got it sending over to a link called Facebook/share-share.php. And then we've got the URL there. We've got some source there, display as a pop-up. And we see that we've got some information here, so we can add it on our timeline. We've got a drop down on a friend's timeline, in a group, on a page you manage, in a private message. And then here we can do some basic data, basic content here. And as well, it's when we look at it below, this is actually pulling that open graph data from the page itself, from that developers.facebook. It's giving it some content there as well as images. So that's where it's pulling that content from, pulling it from that open graph metadata on the web page that we're trying to share. And this was what we had set up earlier in the beginning of the course. And again, that's one of the reasons why we were setting that up initially. So that's all of this open graph meta properties that we weren't actually able to see what they were doing at the time, but now you can see that when we do implement shares, it will be pulling through that data and using this meta information to populate. So we're actually going to be removing out that share, so I believe it's data share, and we're just going to keep it as a like button. And that's going to become evident why we're doing that later on in the next upcoming lessons. and that's going to give us the ability to share the same way we were doing here on tweets, to share the content the same way that we were doing on Twitter. And we're going to implement a JavaScript solution for that. So for now, these buttons here, these are just on-page content, so it doesn't actually leave the site liking it and unliking. And then these are linking out to the profiles. For Twitter, it's allowing us to follow the user right away. And then for Twitter or for Facebook, it's just going out to the user's profile. So just as we had left it, we're not going to be making any changes to the Facebook social link.